Hello everyone, this is With8567, and I hope you're enjoying Digi card Prism Vikings. If you haven't touched it yet, you can see a link in the description. This is going to be a little bit of a log about it, so some other things. I will go over what's happened with the glitches and everything at the end. I'll explain what's going to happen and how, about all that. But I'd figure we'd go over the month, because there's been a lot of stuff that happened, and the channel's been neglected a little bit, so I also want to let you guys know what happened during that. But around 10/27, I found out they're doing the contest again. The Indie Game Making Contest 2018. It's happening. It's starting in a few days. So I talked to the group because I wasn't sure if I wanted to enter, but the usual two suspects gave me the encouragement. This isn't the first time I didn't want to enter one. The last one was actually the second one where I did good. And that's because Zero said to do it. And both of them remind me about that too. It's one of the things that's like, he would have backed me up too. So I totally have 3 people in my corner. I gotta do this. This is my closest trio. I have to go in. So I got the game together, gave the intent to compete, and told them, let's sit down and think of what we want to do. While I started to look at the description and requirements, which did change to be a prototype instead of a full game. This could be important later on, because this expanded our idea pool greatly. So we started thinking about concepts. I could do Mythra 1 because that one hasn't been going anywhere. I mean, really hasn't. Just been an idea and some tinkering, but nothing ever solid. I have really nothing. We have we thought of others during the day and met at 9 p.m. 10/28. Mythra 1 was the idea that I put out there first because it's like the default if we have nothing else to go with. The next one that I came out with that lady actually had as another option that she was going to throw out, but she also was sick with the weather, so that's her only idea. So we kind of co-thought of this one. It's a Sentai/Senshi game. Then the third one we had was a sci-fi generic find a planet and stuff ensues, that sort of thing. The fourth idea, which was Jazz's, I call it split realities on the voting thing. It could come up as a backup project one day. An RPG where you experience different realities with different variations of yourself and try to figure out what's causing the split in realities. It's a good idea. I mean, it's one that we'd take up one day. The fifth one that came up after the other 4 were spat out. An idea that there's 8 types of magic in the world and 8 magical guilds kind of at war with each other. As a freelance adult who has yet to commit, the option to do so becomes open to you, and so you must commit to one of the 8 guilds, essentially allowing for 8 different gameplay experiences. So those were the 5 ideas we came out with. That's all we had, so we sat down and we voted. The Sentai/Senshi game blew everybody away, with everyone voting for it. Mythra 1 got 2 votes, and the 8 magical guilds got 1. So we had the top 3 ideas. We're going to go and do that. So next question, do we go with a single gender team, like a group of females like Precure, Majimaho Pures? Or do we go with something like Super Sentai, Power Rangers, that sort of thing, where we have a mix? Everybody goes with the mixed team. It's like, okay, we got that now. So now I start shopping for ideas from plugins and also DLCs, start browsing. Because we can't start actual work until 10/29. And then the first hit comes. I have a real life commitment next month I have to do. It's going to take 5 hours at least. So I'm stuck dealing with that and trying to figure that out on how we're going to do that. Or if I can get out of the commitment. It's a personal thing, so I'm not going to say much about it. But let's just say it gets interesting. 10:29, it has begun. I start throwing the card mechanic right in place. I get the 6-member party in, and we're just flying. So I said, okay, I got the basics. Let's think of a name and start making the whole thing, because we got this off the ground. One of the mechanics is working. The other mechanic should be okay. Because during this time, I was also looking at things, and soon the Anfly would release the stat allocation, as well as I found a timed hits by some random dude, which did fill in a part of the problem. So we're coming together. This idea is going to take off. We just need everything now. We thought last night I was bouncing ideas off Nancy and me and us. She had Skygem Dragon Force. We could have worked with that. I come out with Prism Vikings just randomly. And the third one was Fighting Marauders of, and then I had a location name because we'd have to think of a location anyway, so. Oh, Frightening Marauders, sorry, blah. I can't remember my own name. So I go to sleep, finally rest. Next morning, I wake up, 30 minutes of just sitting at the computer, just pure typing. I come out with Digi Prism Vikings, have the base as Asgard, Frigg is the advisor, which if you don't know Old Norse, Frigg is Freyja, that whole thing, Odin's wife. Just one of the many names. No, I'm not swearing at you guys. The villain being Loki, the acronym, which kind of makes sense if you think about it. We just need, and I came up with the Viking colors and the Viking they're based off of. I left one name out intentionally, and because of that, one Viking was swapped in. Because of that, this is going to be a story hook. If the game gets fully made, this hook has to come in. This is my promise that there is going to be more if we do make it into a full game. I also came out with the transformation item, which worked. So I then think, and a little later in the day, I come out with legendary official code interceptors. Code with a K, the whole Mortal Kombat thing. This is going to be important later on again. I then started naming the team. If you look at the team names, most of them, if you think about it, have a little bit of a hook to them. That they're named for something. You just gotta think a little bit. I know one's harder than the rest of them because that's a personal one for me. So I get that done and I make the temporary logo and I do one stupid thing that no one catches. I put data instead of Digi. Keep an ear on that, okay? You might already know why it's a stupid thing that I did. 1031, I mentioned we need an artist. It's the only temp logo we have, that whole thing. I started trying to get the finisher attack or the execution, eradication. That's the name we used, eradication. It's early in the morning. My mind's trying to run, so. But yeah, I tried to get the eradication attack. It just wouldn't work right. I get mad. I tantrum a little bit in Twitter. Well, not on Twitter, on Discord with the other two. Because sometimes you just need a vent. A little bit, I fix it. So now we move to November. I make the little intro thingy that fades in, tells you the name of the episode and all that. And then I prep and break the battles to make something work. So 11-1, we had the battle system ready. Oh fuck, I don't have the anniversary video going on. That's the actual quote. There's going to be swearing in this, I'm sorry. It's going to happen. So, I can work on the anniversary video, while Shadow Factory does have Mega Ranger and a lot of other Power Rangers on their site, so I've been watching a few of them as well. To cock up ideas, that whole thing. Well, cook up ideas. Blah, I can talk right. It's early, but I can still talk right. I get the Mithra Hunters characters, I pull them from the file into the other one, and make an Easter egg. That night, the first big mishap happens. My computer stops charging. My laptop dies. My charge cord's dead. So I'm already freaking out, going, oh god, what do I do? Because I don't know if it's the cord at the moment or the other one. Nancy orders me a new cord, early Christmas present. I get to work on a script on the tablet. Thank God for iPads. So I worked on the script for scenes 1 to 6 and 10. Because if the script doesn't work right, it's no use doing the dungeon. Plus, I haven't even thought of how I'm going to make the dungeon, how I'm going to set it up. So I report that the script is ready on the 2nd. 11.3, the comes back up with the new cord. It was the cord died, fried itself, so I get it up and going. Next day, I see Mr. 1 in the video, which died. 11.05, 23% of the contest done. All we have is the main thing. We don't have the script done. We don't have artists. We don't have a lot of things. I'm getting radio silence from Jazz. Now 7th. Script is now 4 days behind. I'm still working on the anniversary video. Mythra Hunters just popped up on the recap. I skipped over the game that shall not be named for reasons. 11.9. Jazz is still really not there yet. My comm is locked for 2 days because of the export for the video. I found out he was flu-ridden. 11.12, the video is out. The script is behind. My game cap is now dead, trying to get the channel going again. And Jazz is working on the script finally. 12.13, early in the morning, script done. I start hiring out to town. And I go looking for a price to get for a tile set. Because it'd be nice to have a custom tile set for this. Because I can't draw very well. Jazz's art isn't that good. Nancy only has really typography skill because she took a class in that, and I don't know how much she remembers. So we have no art skill. Our art skill is a literal, combined together, 0. Well, it's not happening. I'd basically have to spend the entire prize pool on just that. Note that if I win, I do have to pay the other 2. I have to pay any artists that we need, so RIP. So I go back, I get the script in, and basic flow working until I crash out. I get the script for scene 7, 8, and 9. If you don't know how I have it set up, I put 10 scenes set up in a row on how I want the game to progress. The first scene being the school hall where they talk about what happened. Number 2, the villains getting a little mad and what's going on. Scene 3 bounces back to the teens again. Scene 4 is the whole mayhem happening. Scene 5 is them at Land W getting called. Scene 6 is them getting the briefing about to go into battle. Scene 7 is the dungeon itself. Scene 8 is the boss fight. Scene 9 is after the boss. Scene 10 is the resolution to the episode. That's how it kind of works. And then I'm trying to get the terms and thoughts for the others into Google Docs, trying to get things going. We get 11:15, we're halfway. I get some animation placeholders for the transformation and setups. 11:16, I push out a new update. Every night I am sleeping as soon as I just can't work anymore. I'm working until I drop. This has happened since Jazz has been up. This update. Transformation work is a placeholder. Titania has a placeholder. Default volume is set at 50 on all slots. Can now enter the dungeon for chapter 6. Can now finish the game. Beta map access once the game is clear. There's a reason for that. Animation is mostly complete. Could be submittable now. And I'm asking again, do we have an artist? Because while I'm sitting there coding, I asked them to look. Because I'm doing what I can while they're doing research. Because I'm already at max peak. I still have a problem where I still have that 5-hour commitment to do. I tried to get out of it, but they wouldn't have it. I mean, if I told you, I can't really go into it for reasons, but if I did, you'd probably say how stupid it is. It's 11:18. I yank the chain, and we finally get suggestions for a short list and a long list. So I go through the short list, talking to them while journaling Thanksgiving cleaning, prepping the finalists for what they need, talking to the group. I mean, I'm in like 4 things at once. 11:19, we get Pariah. He's going to make the characters for us. Boom, he's getting to work. I make a new logo. It still has Digi, not Data. No, Data, not Digi, blah. See, I keep doing that, and it's going to happen a lot. So I make the new logo. I messed up. Nancy's internet went down, so we lost 12 hours that day. I'm starting to worry because now it's getting to the point where it's like, we still need all this stuff, and there's still a lot we gotta do. 11:20, I realize we don't have the transformation sequence. I make the prismatic highway. I notice I put data instead of Digi. I tell them, and everyone's like, oh no. So we redo all the art. Well, I do all the stuff I did because I kept it in GIMP. I forget to move one image. You take a guess where that image is. And I facepalmed after I found out. Pariah, working at full speed, gets all 4 characters done in a day. Amazing speed from him. I talked to the spriters. 2 of them give a flat no. 1 I'm still waiting on. So 11:21, he finally gets back to me. It's Calva. It's the one that Elgie uses for some of his emotes. He didn't give me a flat no. He gave me it's a little too much for one person. Now here's the problem. If he would have said, if another spriter would have said that too that we were talking to, I would have asked if a split was okay between the 2. But because I didn't have another sprite at this point, I couldn't promise I could go easy on the work with him, so I let him go. If the full game does happen, I might rehire him and, well, ask to rehire him and give him, instead of a month jam, it's going to be a longer term because we'll have long time. So he'll have plenty of time to work. He can probably handle it himself. Unless we do something else. I mean, there's still a lot to go through. I mean, I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket, this whole stuff. So now I'm beginning to panic because everyone said no. So I take a nap just to relax, calm down, and because it's getting late, clean the house, find out there's a Steam sale going on. So at this point, Nancy, I keep saying her first name, I shouldn't be doing that, bad. So she gets me some DLC. I begin going Chica Tamaki from Love Live Sunshine, working on sprites I can to cut down the number that other people have to do. Which, well, you know my art skill. So it's costing time down. I make temporary cards for the artist. Jazz posts on DVD art for a sprite artist. 11:12, I make the actual cards. They look actually quite nice. You've probably seen them. In fact, they've probably been flashing on the screen. And we get replies back. We requested a sprite artist. We got regular artist. So Jazz modifies the thing, posts it, and, well, Monster Arts replies. So we hire him. Meanwhile, I'm starting to work on the battle system now because we have to get it done. That's the one big thing I have to work on. I also work on the we get the first walk sprites back on the 24th. They look good. I make the robotic sounding voices that are used in the game. You know, the Welcome to the Prismatic Highway and all that. That's actually me just recording in Video Sound Cleaning Lab, mastering it, and then throwing it into Music Maker and adding a robotic sound to it, which actually worked better. And then the Warhorn, I took a piece of newspaper, which I have next to me. It's the Town of Webster Charter Revision Committee. I'm not telling you what state, but let's just say I rolled this little sucker up and made a noise and then deepened it, add some reverb, and oh my god, everyone jumped at that one. They loved it. So I fixed that. 11:25, we hit super time crunch. We have about 7 days left now. The 10K prizes are now announced that it's going up to 10K exactly per prize for a total of 30,000. So I had the movie tricks, which I told you. Animations are mostly done. I decided to fix a few more because I was making the actual animations, thing. I get the walking sprites back. Yes! I get them in. They act a little stupid. I get into unstupefy. They're in and working. 11:26, that takes care of that. 11:27, I do my obligation. Or at least I tried to. I only got half of it done. They let me go early. Which doesn't help because I now have to do the other half on Thursday. That's the only other time I could do it. So now I'm working on a full game cleanup of missing stuff and everything. And then 11:28, Bulwark goes on full rampage mode, messing things up. A map event is missing. Monster is done, but the fight sprites are being stupid in the editor, so I have to edit them to accept a little bit. So I get them to work. It's now 11:29. I need to add the shops, fix a dungeon puzzle, give out the free card still, which has not happened, which should have happened, add stuff to the mask, fix the lotto system. Madame Buckland and the girls still don't have their sprites, which means I need to use a placeholder for them, which are currently sitting in another folder. I need to fix the turnover locator because that messed up. I had to add and fix a second move for everyone because that didn't come out right because you're supposed to earn that in an earlier chapter. I need to add more descriptions for the menu and time hits to explain them because people were having trouble with them. And then enemies start causing freaking chaos. It's like they were on horse steroids, as I said. So I had to fix them. I blame Fulberic for that one because he probably wanted a freaking challenge. So now we're at 11:29. At this point, Bulveric, or Frankie, has thrown his team off the Prismatic Highway, been out of sync the most on the Prismatic Highway, poured red paint over him more than once, being the temporary sprite, has disappeared, as well as other problems. Now at this point, skills and item descriptions were not checked, the group is in chaos, things are not fully tested still, and it's getting bad. It's now the last day. The Prismatic Highway breaks 3 times. And I just got home from my second part of the obligation where I was stacking and moving stuff. So I'm pretty kind of burned out. But 15 hours until submit when I get back. Prismatic Highway breaks 3 different ways in a day. Found a lost event, fixed the event. And it's being stupid to some people. Now, I'm going to quickly show at the end of this how the Prismatic Highway looks when I'm recording. It's fine when I'm not recording, but when I do, it has problems. For Jazz, it doesn't work at all. For Nancy, it works the best. I don't have footage of her doing it because she doesn't have any. So that's why I put the little hook to get us to jump through if you can't do it that way. I know it can happen. So I'm aware that that's a problem. It's one of those intensive things. 6:30 p.m., 8.5 hours remaining. We're doing this in EST, okay? The dungeon puzzles are almost fixed. I still need to access the maps, the more descriptions for the menu and time hits, and I need to get the manual. Jazz is now losing internet. He can barely help. 11:14. I get the final beta done while I fix the descriptions. No one's checking a lot of stuff. It's mostly getting through making sure everything's working so it doesn't have a game crash. 11:30. Now it's official. We're on the last day. We have 2 hours remaining. I finalize stuff, clean stuff. Jazz crashes out at 11:22. And I test things in the dev after cleaning up the files, stripping out the files we don't need. It seems working. I get exported. I upload. Nancy at 2:20. The game's not working! There's a certain button I'm going to show you a picture of right now that if you press it, it's going to cause problems. It's the reason why we lost last year, and it almost just happened. So I re-export the main one in case it was the MV stripper, which is a program that gets rid of the unneeded files. Too big. I'm starting to freak out. So I go back into RPG Maker, the one that was stripped, and I carefully, cautiously make sure the encryption's on, because it had to be for the manual. If you need the regular version, I can always upload it on Discord, on Dropbox for you guys. And then there's the fact that on the other side, the files aren't the encryption I kept off. Well, the remove on the files kept off. Because for some reason, RPG Maker MV decides that unneeded files are files that are not that are on the map, but are not part of the scripts. Very nice. Very freaking nice. So I get that out, and I try to boot it. It works. I see title screen. Good. It's going in. This is 12:45. We have 15 minutes. I'm sitting there chanting, fill the bar, fill the bar. And it's just tense moment. Because if we hit 3 a.m., we're out. And we have lost due to the same thing that happened last year. At 2:55, version uploaded, done, hit OK, it's in. And it's working. I lay down and cry for a little bit. Because I was too close. I've been working for 3 straight weeks almost until I crash on this game, and I almost just lost it again. Is it perfect? No. Does it work? Yes. Can you beat it? Yes. In fact, I even just beat it again today. Well, yesterday, I should say. I'm recording for it the next day. So, what's wrong with it? Let's take a look, because this is all the glitches that you guys probably wanted to tell me about. The title screen has data instead of Digi still. Again, I left the file out that was supposed to go in that one because it's a different folder. So that one never got its title screen. My wall of text. I put a wall of text in accidentally. It's supposed to be split on at a certain point. Wasn't done because I wasn't paying full attention. And the 2 beta testers that are looking at it didn't catch it either. So when I'm describing how to get into the menu and everything, that's kind of, well, And my headset just broke. Lovely. The game is super easy to break. I had Titania go full ham. I was beating scripts in one shot. Luckily, there's an easy way you can do that, and there's an easy way to prevent that by not using cards. You got the option. You can make it as easy or as hard as you want for this beta. So that kind of is a plus, It works better for you guys. You can have an easy run through and just see the story and use the powerful cards to just blow people away. Or you could hold back and have a little bit of a challenge. It's all up to you. Or you can just do no cards at all. The choice is yours and yours alone. So that works better for us. Titania calls her mom Test Face, because at that time I had a Test Face in. I never swapped the text for that. In fact, I never created new text for her. She's supposed to be a little more, good to mom. But it didn't happen. That will change in the next one. It's not a big error. It's not like anything's bad that's going to happen. Next error. Items are walked through in Titania's house. Yep, I didn't set the transparency correctly. Well, the pass-through correctly. Because I copied some over from another DLC and flushed it in. I never set them to not see, because it defaults to everything pass-through. So I messed that up. So that's going to be fixed next episode. I'm not the only one that has that problem. It's a minor bug. So it's nothing wrong. Scene 4, Sir Kim has the wrong art. He has the placeholder art that I used, which is a dragon, instead of his sprite that was made by Monster Arts. Because I was running low on crunch time, the town is still empty and devoid of people. It's a ghost town. That's my problem. I'll fix that later in another revision. Don't worry about it. I'll add more people. I mean, it's mostly just flavor text that you're not going to need. You guys have a map that tells you where to go, so you don't have to worry too much. The next one is something I can't fix. It's a problem when the RPG Maker program updated. Sometimes it won't draw a graphic. This is most common with Titania's attack, as well as Fred's. But it can happen on others. Just note that it's something with the RPG Maker and the script that when it updated, it broke. It works past the first attack, but the first attack might mess up. So if you want to have either defend or, get a status ready or have Titania do a heal or something. Because after the first turn, it works fine. Card Lotto never got checked over, so it's a little sketchy right now. Plus, I gotta redo the formula anyway. So that kind of blew up. I'm working on fixing that one. The highway, besides the prismatic highway braking on computers that are very low capacity. I don't know what Jazz's specs are, but mine is a 2 gigabyte with the Intel chipset. It hangs if I record it. Nancy's a lot stronger and she works fine. So that tells you what, specifics. But it still has its quirk, so you're going to get a little bit of a random there. Sometimes you'll get a funny. Bulwark shows up on save point. Also, I didn't set the save right in the dungeon, so you can't save inside the dungeon. Luckily, you can walk out. So yeah. Cutscene 1 in the dungeon. The Vikings don't assemble correctly. Good job, team. You messed it up. I'll have to fix that later. Once it doesn't run for food in Chapter 9, which she should have, she kind of did a dumb. I'll fix her on a later one to make her hungry. And the last error is in scene 10 at the end. There's a girl hanging out where she shouldn't be. I'll have to check her, make sure, see what's up with her, why she didn't despawn and run off. But other than that, that's the last one. I know this is kind of a quick log because I don't want to take up too long because I did a pre-recording of this and it took up an hour. That's a little too long for you guys to sit through. But yeah, that's the long and short of what happened. And that's why I haven't done a video on this channel since the anniversary video. I was tired. I was constantly working on this game trying to fix things. So yeah. I'm getting this here now because I'm tired, I'm hungry, I gotta get some food and then edit this out for you guys. So yeah. Do play the game, do give it a rating, leave feedback if you want. Play some of the other games in the competition, Don't just come for me. Have a little fun. Take some time, okay? And I hope you have fun. And I'll see you on the next one. And remember, if this game wins, it's being fully made. So if you really want it, you know what to do. See you then.